Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight I'll be doing my tip for the 2021 NRL Grand Final and also my preview. It all comes down to this: it's the biggest game of the year. Two teams on the final day, 11 to 12 months of preparation, of hard work and lots of trials and tribulations along the way have gone into this. It's all down to this moment. Who's going to come out on top? This match is the first ever grand final outside of Sydney. It's been played at Suncorp Stadium. It's going to be a sellout from what I've been told. There's a lot of variables and things to talk about leading into this match, and there's quite a bit to go through. So let's just start off with the fact that this is going to be the first ever grand final between these two sides. South and Penrith had never played each other in a grand final before. This is only their third finals meeting. So Penrith come in 1967, and from 1967 all the way up to last year, the two sides never met in a final series, and in the space of 12 months, this will be the third time that they've met. This is South's only second grand final appearance since their 1971 triumph. So it's their second grand final appearance in 50 years. It's Penrith's fifth grand final since they come into the competition in 1967. For South Sydney, it's their 29th grand final. 29 grand finals. There's also a lot of players that won't be playing for both of these sides next year. You got last games for Adam Reynolds, Benji Marshall potentially, Jaden Suey, he's leaving the club at South, Dane Gagai. And then for Penrith, you've got the likes of Kurt Catewell, Matt Burton, Brent Naden, and a couple of other players will potentially be leaving Penrith at the end of the year. This is Ivan Cleary's third grand final. He's previously made it with New Zealand in 2011 and Penrith last year. And for Wayne Bennett, if you count the time when he was sort of co-coach with Canberra back in 1987, this is his 10th grand final. This is the fourth time that Wayne Bennett and Ivan Cleary will be playing against each other in a finals match. Wayne Bennett leads at 2-1. It's also a changing of the guard. After this year, Wayne Bennett's not going to be there anymore. Adam Reynolds is going. They've got a rookie coach coming in, Jason Demetriou. Could it be South Sydney's premiership window closed? Is this going to be their last chance to win a premiership for a while? We'll have to wait and see. And then also we have the 50-point rule. As we all know, since 1908, no side has won the premiership after conceding 50 points in a game. South conceded 50 twice this year. Wouldn't it be appropriate if a club like South Sydney, that's been there from the very beginning, and with someone like Wayne Bennett at the helm, manages to finally break that record? We'll just have to wait and see. The two sides, Penrith and South Sydney, they've met 3 times this year. Round 11, Penrith won 56 points to 12 over South. Round 23, it was a very good game. Penrith come out on top 25 points to 12 over South after South led at half time, but they were held scoreless in the second half. And then of course the qualifying final, which only happened a couple of weeks ago, South Sydney got the win over Penrith 16 points to 10, and there was plenty of words said in the press conference between Wayne Bennett and Ivan Cleary, and I'm pretty sure both of them haven't forgotten that, so they're going to be thinking about that on grand final day. And then also last year you had the heartbreaking loss that South Sydney suffered against Penrith at Stadium Australia there in the preliminary final. Penrith 20, South Sydney 16, and we all remember that Adam Reynolds 40-20. If he would have got that 40-20, would things be different? We don't know, but that's how close some finals games and some margins are. Even this year between the two sides, both of them are pretty much neck and neck. You could see how the season finished. Penrith in second and South Sydney in third, but there was only 2 points that separated them, and the for against was pretty much the same. Penrith had to do things the hard way. to reach this grand final. They had to beat Parramatta in a very bruising encounter, and then they had to back it up the following week against Melbourne, and everyone expected Melbourne to be making the grand final. And Penrith once again produced another defensive masterclass to overcome Melbourne. South Sydney, they've had two very good wins in the finals to reach the grand final. The win over Penrith and the win over Manly was very impressive. So I think that they'll be going into this match the fresher of the two sides. And I think also you could probably see, in my own personal opinion, I know that I think I was reading on the bookies that Penrith are going in as favourites, but I actually think that South Sydney should be the slight favourite to win this grand final. I think looking at the two sides and looking at where they could win it, definitely for South Sydney, that lethal left edge of Alex Johnston and co. They've scored so many tries this year on that left edge, and a lot of teams haven't been able to handle it. And also, especially in the final series under Wayne Bennett, they've just managed to simplify the game plan. They've managed to do everything right, and in both finals games they were very impressive, and they've been very impressive throughout the year, South. They've had those two big losses against Melbourne and Penrith, but besides that, I think that they're worthy grand finalists. And for Penrith, where can they win this game against South? I think it's all down to their defence. Their attack hasn't been the greatest over the last month or so, or 2 months, but they're the best defensive best defensive side in the competition, and they're in this grand final for a reason. They only conceded 6 points against a Melbourne side that were putting 30 to 40 points on everyone, and they also were really good in defence against Parramatta. And I think for Penrith, if they're going to win this game, they have to stop that left edge of Alex Johnston and co, because if they can hold them out, I think that Penrith are going to have a really good chance of winning this game. They would have learned a lot from last year's grand final against Melbourne, where they were kind of blitzed in the first half. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be better and a lot wiser this year going into the grand final. I think in terms of grand final experience, Penrith do have a slight edge in grand final experience, but there are a lot of players in the south side that do have some degree of final experience. There are a couple of players that are complete rookies when it comes to the finals, like Blake Taff. But besides that, this is going to be a really even match, and I'm actually going to go for South Sydney to win this grand final. I'm going to go for them to win 1-12 or maybe even 1-6 points. I think this is going to be probably one of the best grand finals, hopefully, in recent memory. But I see South Sydney winning this grand final 1-12. I can see them lifting that trophy, that 22nd premiership. And I think it'll be a fitting farewell for the likes of Adam Reynolds, Wayne Bennett and Benji Marshall. So anyway, that's me grand final tip and preview. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know who you think is going to win this grand final. Anyways, this is Rugby League History, signing off. And I'll catch us all later in the next video. Alright, tatty bye for now.